Good morning from St. Petersburg, Florida. Nice weather already from my weather station where I just look out the window and I see what the weather's like. I look out there and we have some sun. The sun has managed to get up, which is always nice. I like when the sun shows up in the morning for its job, doing its job. It is Wednesday, September 10th, 2014. It is 8:18 a.m. here in St. Petersburg, Florida. Of course, you're looking at the waterfront in St. Petersburg, so you could see what a beautiful day we're having here. Let's give you a little shot of the city. They got the chairs and the table and the signs telling you to come and have breakfast. I imagine that's what that sign says. I don't know. I would figure that it says, "Hey, we serve breakfast. Come on in, have breakfast." And we got people, one car rushing off to work. Whoops, that's a cop. Is that a cop? That's a cop. He's serving and protecting down there. And around here, you have to stop for the pedestrians. You can't do the it's I've got the green light thing. You got to stop for them. I don't know if it's a law, but it just seems to be a common courtesy here. In Denver, it used to be, if you get in my way, I'll run you over. But here in St. Petersburg, with our tourists, I guess not paying attention to where they're going, looking up here and looking over there, and did you see that kind of thing? And, they just wander out into the streets. We pretty much stop for them. Like I said, in Denver, if somebody walked out in front of you, you were flipping them off and cussing at them and yelling out the window as you're driving away. I guess that wasn't a cop. But here in Florida, they even have all kinds of little flashing lights and stuff, and so when the light starts to flash, you've got to stop. Definitely in that area. See how that person did that? That person walked right in front of that car, and that car just stopped and didn't honk and didn't get crazy and didn't start beeping and flipping everything out too early in the morning for that kind of stress. I think it's kind of cool. When I'm out walking around, I try extra hard to pay attention because, normally they should stop for you. You would hate to find out that they didn't, because that's going to hurt. And when you're picking yourself, if you're lucky to pick yourself up off the pavement, it isn't going to matter too much who was right and who was wrong. You're going to be in a world of hurt. So, like I said, here in St. Petersburg and around all the places that I go to, they stop for you if you aren't paying attention. Of course, a lot of people are having fun here, having a few beers and cocktails and maybe some tequila, and they're just thinking they're invincible, and they walk across that street. So if you're driving a car here in St. Petersburg, you gotta kind of give them a little bit of room and watch out for them, and remember that you're not always in that car. You're out there walking around too, so it's all fair. It works out pretty good. Um, since I've been here, I've never really seen anybody come to a skid and start hollering at the person walking in front of them. I've never seen it. But I've only been here a little over 2.5 years, so I imagine that day will come where somebody will walk in front of a car and the guy will get out and shoot him. So we are in Florida, where you have a right to kill somebody if they walk in front of your car. You can either use your car or you can just jump out like if they're a deer or something and shoot them. So that's the way it happens here in Florida, but not lately, and not in St. Petersburg. We got a pretty calm city, and it just depends on where you're at. If you're down by the beach, which once you're down by the beach, you're out of St. Petersburg. You might be in St. Petersburg County. I don't know, because it's kind of big and we got all these names, and I don't know. But you get down in the beach, in the place where we like to go around, and it's Treasure Island or Madeira. Red Rock, I think, is another one. And people are pretty considerate, because people are down there having a good time. Why are you trying to ruin their day? Why are you trying to ruin your own day? for that matter. Why are you so upset? You're here to have a good time. You left all the stress and everything behind. You took off the hood, if you're a Klansman, and you left all that bullshit where you came from. And you came here to enjoy and relax. So don't run anybody over if you come and visit us in St. Petersburg, because a lot of times people aren't paying attention to what they're doing, and some people like this guy, hey, they aren't going to be walking in front. But see, now he's launched, and them cars haven't finished. Them cars weren't finished with what they were doing, and he launched, and out into the street he goes. And then we got this guy over here that's got his do-rag or whatever that thing is, making sure that he don't get too much sun. Apparently, that's what he's doing. I don't know him. He's got his red shirt on, and he's got his hanky in the back. Maybe he's surrendering. I don't know. Could be a Crip. Could be a Blood. I don't know. He's surrendering though. He's got all his white stuff on. He's got his little hanky in the back there, like they do. Maybe he works for St. Petersburg. That's what, maybe he does. He looks like he's checking stuff out, and he might be one of the city workers. So that's a little view of our in-town or street view of St. Petersburg around 4th Avenue and Central Avenue. That'd be 4th Street North and Central Avenue. So that's our little look. Pretty busy for a Wednesday morning, hump day, and it's kind of early. But I guess if you're a working person, it's not all that early. A little early to be shopping. I don't know what time those shops open either. I would figure 10 o'clock. Most of the time, most shops open around 10 o'clock. But that's the street view in St. Petersburg, and this is a beautiful view of our waterfront. That's our waterfront, and I just like looking at this live. And the nice part is, if I want to, I'll just get in the van and I'll just drive over there and be part of that right there. And that's what I like about living in St. Petersburg, Florida. So let's have a look. Let's see what's going on in the chats this morning. See who's calling who what. 2 viewers in Syrian Freedom. Looks pretty quiet. It usually is in Syrian Freedom. You won't see too much arguing going on in Syrian Freedom. They're really not that kind of a channel. And I just, I think that the people, the haters or whatnot, stay out of that channel. Or the game players stay out of that channel, because that's a pretty serious channel. A lot of serious stuff going on in Syria. We've got the ISIS. It's getting easier to say just ISIS than it is to try to say ISIL or ISA or whatever it is. It just seems like everybody has to make an excuse for saying ISIS when it should be ISISIL, and now they've just shortened it to IS. So I'm just going to say ISIS. That seems easy enough. So not too much going on. IS is giving Syria a hard time, and President Obama will be speaking tonight on that. He's going to try to tell Congress what do they want to do about this, because he has a certain amount of authority. I guess he has authority to bomb up, and then I guess in the next couple of weeks he won't have that authority anymore. I don't know exactly how it all works, but at this time he can bomb ISIS. He can bomb them, and in a couple of weeks he won't have that authority anymore, according to our laws. I don't know if, I think it's just laws. It's not the Constitution. It may be the Constitution. I don't know. But for a couple of weeks he can bomb the hell out of them and, upset their little game. I always just thought it was kind of weird because, and another thing that I noticed, if you watch mainstream TV, is they seem to show the same pictures of ISIS. They show the tanks spinning in the road. That's here in Florida anyway. I don't know what's going on in the rest of the world, but I see it on MSNBC, so that's a national TV program, and I see the tanks spinning in circles, and I see them marching down the road in Toyotas, carrying their flags with their cannons on the back of their Toyotas, and it looks like the same picture over and over on all the channels. It's the same one, so I don't know. It's pretty dangerous to be taking pictures in the Middle East these days. You can get captured. And they're starting to say that the last journalist that was captured was actually sold out to ISIS for $50,000. That's kind of the rumor that I heard. I believe it was yesterday. And what happened is that he got to a checkpoint, or they set up a fake checkpoint, and then somebody made a phone call, and they got him and paid $50,000. I mean, really, do you want to take a chance that you're going to get your money from ISIS? You've got to be a pretty gutsy individual to make a deal, any kind of deal with ISIS, because they can renege, and what are you going to do? You're going to call a cop? Who are you going to call? Are you going to call the president? Yeah, I was trying to make a deal with these guys. I was going to sell them a journalist, and they owe me $50,000, and they didn't pay me. Who are you going to call if they decide not to pay you? And who are you going to tell? Even worse. You start ratting on ISIS, and you'll be on ice before you know it. You'll be pushing up daisies. So ISIS isn't a group or a gang, whatever you want to call them, to mess with in that part of the world. It looks like they're running things over there. They've got the whole world upset. They've got the whole world focusing on them, and they're, the last I heard, it dropped from 17,000 to 11,000, and they've become the worst of the worst. Even Al Qaeda doesn't want to have anything to do with them. So, these are the bad boys of the bad boys, and I wouldn't be making any deals with them, but that's the rumor, that last journalist was sold for $50,000, or sold out for $50,000. So we'll go over into dissenters, where, let's see, last I checked, Ivan is producing, debt-free currency is producing, or they're moderators. I know Ivan produces, Tokyo 1 may be a mod, and debt-free currency may be a mod. But Ivan produces, and one of these days we're going to have a talk with Ivan. We're going to have a little chat, and yous are all welcome to eavesdrop as we chat. It's kind of like, if you're listening in on a phone call. It's nothing fancy. We're not journalists. We're not trying to be anything. We're just talking, and you're welcome to listen to the conversation. So that's all that's going to be about. So then we have two viewers in Dissenter 5, which is Crusader 1954's channel. And Crusader is probably still sleeping, and that's okay. What do they say? The saying is, happy is the man who rests when he can, because that all rhymes. So, but I don't know if Crusader is a man or a woman, and I don't ask. I did one time, and Crusader didn't want to say, and I never asked again. So we go over to Artstarzz, that lazy bum. Nobody's in Artstarzz, and that's the way that channel is. It's just there if you want to post a link on something, or if there's something in particular you would like me to do. I'll see if I can do it. And then we've got the site chat. The site chat does get a little bit of attention. You can post pictures and stuff in the site chat. You can post links to videos, and it'll show you that it's a video. So site chat is pretty cool as a tool. It's not something that you really go in there and chat. It's more of drop some information there, drop some links in there, drop some photographs, videos, that sort of thing. That's what our site chat is about. And then, of course, if you drop it in there, it ends up in the ticker right there. That's where it'll end up. So if you have a channel or a website or a video or something that you want to kind of scatter around, if you drop it in there, this little ticker is on most of the pages. So wherever somebody goes, most of the people end up here in the chat. So this is where most of the traffic is in the chat. So that's Crusader 1954 and Dissenter. Looks like Dissenter has changed the name to Dissenters Information. So we will no longer call Dissenters Dissenters 5. We will now refer to Dissenters as Dissenters Information. That's the way we'll do Dissenters now. So everything changes a little bit, so that's okay. If they change, we'll change with them. Then we've got OPN, and Straight is in OPN, and Fexy, Ruby Tuesday, G.I. Joe, Susie Q, and they're in there chatting away in the morning. I don't know exactly what they're doing. Maybe we should just eavesdrop. Let's eavesdrop and see what they're doing. Let's click on this. Let's click on that. Let's go to a full screen, and we'll check out what OPN is doing this morning. Let's check them out. Then we'll fly back and we'll check out what Dissenters is doing. Well, I think we'll do a little bit of this morning. We'll check out some of these chats. Of course, we got to suffer through commercials on all of the channels. Like I said, these are all free channels. You can get one. All you have to do is sign up to live stream and get yourself a channel and get yourself busy, because they will keep you busy. You'll start out in one direction, and then you'll learn that you can do this, and then you'll learn you can do that, and you'll just start learning all this stuff. Get yourself Skype, and then invite people to your channels. It looks like,
but nobody
let's see what they're doing. Let's listen.
Linked it as you did to an actual decision in a way that is powerful. It's quite powerful. We are where we are, not just because of what we did, but because of how you responded to it. And I think that you've taken a great and courageous step and really should be applauded for it. Or I applaud you for it. Sure.
DA Sutter.
Well, I'm inspired by those words. I look forward to seeing you in New York City, and I look forward to more dialogue. I agree with you about the coal burning plant, and I just look forward to working together with the activists as much as I can, and crafting stands for my office that put us in a leadership role. There are many in my office that.
Okay, and it looks like they're watching Democracy Now! And I remember that they used to pretty much watch Democracy Now! And Democracy Now! Starts at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, and there's Amy Goodman. And if you want to watch Democracy Now! And chat, stop in and visit the people in OPN and chat with them about what's going on in current events and in Democracy Now! So that's OPN. They're staying a little busy with the news this morning, talking about what's happening in the world and giving their opinion. OPN. This is not where I want to be. I want to be over here. We'll get our, let's, I'm going to start doing this, I think. Instead of just giving you the viewer numbers, I think we'll just go ahead and, what you do when you're in artstarzz.com is that if you click on the screen of the channel that you would like to go to their channel and not just be here on our site, you would like to have a bigger screen of everything, including their chats and their videos, access to all their videos, you just click on the screen and it'll take you there. The screen itself is a link, and it'll take you to their channel. And then you've got a great big old view, and you can make the letters bigger or whatever your computer will do. And you've got a bigger screen. You've got a whole shot of their channel. And this one is, Syrian Freedom. So we'll see if it loads. Not all the time will these load. Sometimes they're stuck in the player of the channel, and the channel itself has to fix them. So if that little wheel there spins for too long, the chances are it's not going to stop spinning, and the who's ever producing will have to fix that. So that's Syrian freedom, and we'll go back to Artstarzz like this, and then we'll check out dissenters. Let's see what dissenters. And again, you just go to the screen like that, double click or click it one time or two times, and you'll be right on their channel, and everything is big. The screen is big, and again, you'll have to deal with the commercial, and then you're right inside their channel. And then you could see on the bottom there they have all the videos, different videos. So if you're having a day where you say you can't find nothing, well, you're not looking, because there's always something.
Spins, the rules about how the internet works are being redrawn.
So let's listen. It looks like they have democracy now.
ISPs like Comcast, Time Warner, AT&T, and Verizon are trying to change the rules that govern the internet.
Some of the biggest companies on the internet are joining today's internet slowdown to draw attention to net neutrality. That principle that service providers shouldn't be allowed to speed up or slow down loading times on certain websites, such as their competitors. They include Netflix, Mozilla, Kickstarter, Etsy, WordPress. This comes as 27 online advocacy groups sent a letter to Federal Communications Commission Chair Tom Wheeler Tuesday, calling on him to participate in town hall-style public hearings on net neutrality before ruling on the issue as early as this year. We asked the FCC for their response to the letter. They didn't reply by the time of our broadcast. For more, we're joined by Tim Carr, Senior Director of Strategy for Free Press, one of the main organizers of the internet slowdown today. Welcome back to Democracy Now! Tim, lay it out. Explain exactly what you're so concerned about.
Well, the Federal Communications Commission has routinely gotten the issue of net neutrality wrong. And earlier this year, the chairman, Tom Wheeler, put forth a proposal that would allow very powerful websites to dominate the internet. It would allow internet service providers to favor their websites and services in a way that degrades access to the rest of the internet. It creates this two-tiered system. And the internet was never meant to be that way. So over the year, there has been this amazing public response rejecting Wheeler's proposal and asking for real net neutrality protections. Real net neutrality protections involve treating internet service providers as common carriers, that they are networks that have to move all information equally without discrimination. And today is a culmination of a lot of that effort.
How many organizations or websites do you have participating in today's internet slowdown?
Well, we'll know by the end of the day. I can tell you right now that there are hundreds of tech companies, advocacy organizations, and websites that are displaying, as you call it, the spinning wheel of death. But it's important that the internet will not be slowing down as a result of that, although one website might slow down, and that is the web.
And that's dissenters, and dissenters is mirroring Democracy Now! And there is always something to do on these channels. You've just got to decide what you want to do, and then just go there and do it. And another thing, some of these channels, if you know anything about producing, will let you come and produce with them. Here at Artstarzz, we would, if you want to produce a show but you don't want to have your own channel, you just want to produce a show, either if you know how to produce, or I could teach you how to produce, or some of these channels will teach you how to produce, and they'll let you run a show, kind of like what I'm doing here. If you wanted to get in, for example, and talk about this football player that knocked out his wife, and you just wanted to produce one show about domestic violence, that's all you wanted to do. You don't want to make a career out of this. You don't want to, do this every day. You don't want to have to get yourself a channel. You don't want to have to find yourself an audience. You want to go into a place that's already established. You might want to contact some of the owners of these channels, or you can discuss with one of the producers of these channels, and they'll contact the owner, and you can set up a program. You can do anything that you could do everything that it takes to produce a program, and discuss it and see if they'll let you produce for a day or an hour or whatever. A lot of times, the producers, they get tired. There might be one producer producing all day long, and they get tired. So any kind of break, and somebody comes in and produces a show, they may let you do it. I know at artstarzz.com we will let you do it. We'll let you come in and be a guest producer. If you have a channel already and your channel is slow, nobody is visiting your channel. Some of these shows, some of these channels may let you come in and promote your channel. They don't care that it's and if you have a channel, I'll bring it onto artstarzz.com and we'll put it here, and hopefully that'll help you get somebody that'll come and watch what it is you're trying to say or talk about or trying to get your message across. But this is Dissenters, and Dissenters is doing Democracy Now! But while Dissenters may be doing the same thing as OPN, there's different chatters in there with different opinions. Or you might find that some chatters jump from channel to channel. If they're here on artstarzz.com, they can go from channel to channel and have a discussion. Maybe somebody's not talking about, or somebody is talking about something that they want to discuss, so they jump from channel to channel and they talk with that person. But they're both right now doing Democracy Now!, but you have different chatters chatting. So that's Dissenters this morning with 6 viewers talking about Democracy Now! So let's find out. Let's go over to, and of course they're live. You can see the little live button here, which means Democracy Now! Is live right now, and Dissenters is live. So let's go over to Dissenters Information and see what Dissenters Information is playing, because what they do is they put this stuff in a queue, which means that it'll run, just keep running. And as you can see right here, if you wanted to log into Facebook and comment, you could do that, or you could just go to the chat. Of course, we're going to hear a commercial, so I'll let the commercial play.
Well, did you know that game show hosts should only host game shows?
Do you take Kevin as your lawfully wedded husband? Or would you rather have a new car? Geico.
Likely never return. And although 10,000 houses will have been restored by the end of this year, it's a drop in the bucket for the work that still needs to be done. In fact, we observed houses that hadn't been touched in years, with tens of thousands of blighted properties still littered across certain neighborhoods. Look, it's not just about remembering this tragedy and rehashing what we already know. The lessons of the hurricane need to be heeded now, because it's not a matter of if, but when the next Katrina hits. And the question remains, how will we respond if the government treats us like refugees in our own country and goes to war with us again?
So there's plenty of things to do. If you visit us on artstarzz.com, then you can come to all of these channels. There doesn't always have to be chatters in there chatting. Click on a video and watch what they're trying to show you or tell you about, and it's going to be current. It'll be about current events. And Crusader 54 deals in current events, and Crusader 54 has tons of information that Crusader puts on this channel, and it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of research. But if you're looking for information, or if you just want to see what's going on, maybe you've been in prison, or maybe you've lived out in the country, or you just don't know what's going on, stop by some of these channels. And like I said, it doesn't have to be loaded with chatters. If you're the only one in there, start talking. It seems like you're talking to yourself, but believe me, you're not. Especially if you're doing this on artstarzz.com. Somebody is watching you, and I can tell you for sure somebody, and it's usually in the area of 50 to 100 people are watching. Every day they're watching. They may not comment, they may not join you in conversation, but they are watching. So if you have something to say, drop into these chats. It's like putting an ad in a newspaper. That's what it's like. You put an ad in the newspaper, and that doesn't mean that you're going to get responses, because maybe they're not interested in what you're saying. You always have to consider that. You always have to consider, if you're not getting any responses, people are not interested in what you're saying, or the market that you're reaching is not interested in what you're saying. You may have to change the market. But this is Crusader 54's information channel, and it's dissenters information. And right now, like I said, we're clicked on the live stream chat, but you also have a choice. You can go to the Facebook, and as soon as you type in here, you sign in. If you have a Facebook account, what it will do is it will automatically drop a link to this channel, and it'll go to your Facebook. And the same with Twitter. There's a Twitter. If you drop something in here, it'll automatically put a link to this channel, and then it'll go to your Twitter account. So that is Dissenters Information Network, no longer Dissenters 5. It is Dissenters Information Network, and it is owned and operated by Crusader 1954. So we'll wander over here again, and we'll kill that. And we'll go down to Artstarzz. Let's see what's happening in Artstarzz. He doesn't do shit, this guy. He just lays around and plays games, and he don't do nothing. So anyway, these are what I have on Artstarzz.com is all of the rerun shows. This show will be uploaded. As soon as I'm done, this show will be uploaded into live stream. Right now it's being published on Ustream, and it's also on the top of the chat rooms that we're scrolling through. But this is Artstarzz.com, and Crusader comes in and drops some links and says hello. People drop by and say hello. Lower down. As you can see, that is yesterday's show, I think. That was about the homeless and stuff. So I keep all of the shows for about a week, about 7 days, and then I'll empty them all out and I start over again. And as far as the automatic control or the queue, I change it every day to today's show, for example, will be the only show inside the queue, and that'll run over and over until you're brainwashed. So that is Artstarzz.com. So we'll move along, go over here, and we'll kill that. And then we have the site chat. Okay, now the site chat, like I said, you can come in here, you can drop pictures, videos, you can say whatever you want, and of course, if you get weird, I ban you. I'm not as liberal as dissenters. I don't put up with everything. I think if you want to say, you could say whatever you want. Even if you're a Nazi, you could say whatever you want. But if you get ridiculous where you're not really saying anything, you're not trying to get any kind of message, even if it's a hate message, you could post it here, I'll look at it, and if it's not too crazy, but if I see you're just trying to incite and not inform, yeah, then I'll take it off, and you'll possibly get banned from posting your information. So that's our site chat. And then we already had a visit with OPN. They're doing Democracy Now! And Democracy Now! Ends at 9 o'clock, and they don't say goodbye or nothing. They just end. It's over. They just, boom, black screen. It's gone. We're gone. So then we go down to Pot TV. Pot TV is one of the new channels that we put on. I'm always looking for something new. And sometimes the channel will go dormant, and nobody talks on it for weeks and weeks and weeks. And usually, after about a week, I'm looking to put a new channel in there. So this is where a new channel would come. Should these channels go dormant. But so far, these 3 channels have been hanging in there. So let's see what's going on Pot TV. Pot TV. They're going to tell us how to smoke pot. I know how to smoke pot. And they're going to show us how to roll them or put them in a rocket and fly them to the moon. I don't know.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
We'll watch a commercial.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that game show hosts should only host game shows?
Do you take Kevin as your lawfully wedded husband? Or would you rather have a new car? Geico.
I can always make another. All right. How about that? I saved it from the garbage. Okay, let's carry on our black line here. So we just got a little smeg to clean up at the black here. Fortunately, again, that where I just started this line again, is kind of towards the center of it. And I am going to break it in half at the center. And I guess my big mistake...
Pot TV, look at that. Glass blowing. You know what he's making? He's making a pipe. I would be willing to bet on that, but you have to come to Pot TV and check them out and see what they're doing. Don't just pass by them. Don't just think, oh, nobody's talking in here, so nothing's going on. There is something going on. There's always something going on. So click on the videos and see what it is. And then if it doesn't interest you, but I mean really, who doesn't like glass blowing? Look at that. That's cool. That beard may be a little dangerous to have a beard and all that fire, but hey, he knows what he's doing. If he wants a beard, the name of it is red beard glass. I guess you can't call it red beard glass unless you got a red beard. Of course, he waits long enough, he's gonna have to change that to white beard glass. So this is a cool channel. I look at him, but I don't prejudge. And then I just throw them on and see what happens. And this is even surprising to me to find a nice little show about making glass pipes and smoking weed. I'm a weed smoker myself. Haven't had any in a couple of years. That's the price I paid when I left Colorado. I got here to Florida. Weed is against the law, and I don't want to go to jail or lose my property because I wanted to smoke some weed. We are trying here in Florida to pass laws like Colorado. Medical marijuana is the first hurdle, and then once we get past the first hurdle and we get medical, look at how nice that is. Look at that. So we get past the first hurdle, and we've got medical marijuana. Then it won't be long, and I'll be growing my own and just happy as could be. I hope they don't take too long to do this like it did in Colorado. It took a long time. I remember in Telluride when they first legalized pot in Telluride. And then, even though it was legalized, it was still against federal law, and it was a big problem. But these guys are just, you can make some good money. Don't let the way these guys look fool you. They are making tons of money doing this. So, we see a lot of chatters, and they're down on their luck. Sometimes you have to change your skills. But look at this guy in the back there. He's apparently making the bowl to a pipe. Now, yeah, some of these pipes are going to be used for crack, but crack or meth or, some harder drugs. But if you're a pot smoker, I imagine they make some beautiful, beautiful pipes. But this is red beard glass, and we may stay here for a minute because I find this kind of interesting, how these guys are doing this. Interesting enough that I am going to give us a full screen on this, and let's see if I can do this without messing everything up. And that's one of the things about the way that I do these shows in the morning, is I may start out one place and end up someplace else. I don't have a plan how I'm going to do things. I'm not stuck with a schedule. I'm too old for that. I'm too old to be locked into anything, because, hey, the older you get, you start running out of time. You ain't got time to be rigid. You just want to, do what you want to do when you want to do it, and then move along. Experience as much as you can. But this is pretty cool. I've seen these guys do this stuff before, make these glass pipes like this, and they are making tons of money. I can tell you that. They talk, some of these guys here, like I said, don't confuse the way they look with their bank account. And I ain't saying that, you got to be interested in their bank account. I'm just saying these guys make millions of dollars. I ain't talking about a couple of 20s in the bank. These guys make millions of dollars doing this. They make these pipes, and you're seeing this, but there may be 10, 15, 20 of these guys. This may be a big old company. We don't see it. I don't know, but I've seen them where they're big companies, and they're just popping these pipes out, and it's like anything else. An artist has a company, and the big money goes to the big named artist, and there are glass pipe artists. But it's pretty cool the way that they do this. And like I said, if you're out roaming around in our site, there's plenty to look at. Don't just don't just do a flyby. Stop and look. And if there's not a conversation in these chat rooms, and you feel like you want to talk. Comment on the video that's on the screen, and you'd be surprised. Before you know it, somebody will join you.
It's 9 o'clock.
Somebody will join you. And sometimes you have to start things if you want to see things happen, especially in these chats. Right now, as you could hear, it was 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock Eastern time. But, in Japan, where Tokyo 1 is, and in the Netherlands, where Ifan is, they're getting ready to go to bed. They've already done this day. They've already gone past this. And if they went walking through here, this video may not have even been on when they were on. This may be new. But this is glass blowing and pipe making. Because what else would they... You're not going to see somebody making those little swans and stuff on a pot TV channel. They're making pipes. And like I said, what the pipes get used for, I don't know. It's not up to me to know that, and it's probably not up to you either. Use the pipe for what you use it for, and never mind somebody else's business. But that's just my opinion. So that is Pot TV, and they are making pot pipes, and I think that's pretty cool. So stop and visit, comment, get into the chats, start something, be the beginning. Don't wait for somebody else to start a conversation. Get in there and start it yourself. Talk to yourself. It may look like you're talking to yourself, but you're not. Believe me, you're not, especially if you're on Artstarzz.com. If you come into these channels like I did here, yeah, you may be talking to yourself. But if you no, I take that back. No, you wouldn't be talking to yourself, because no matter what, this channel is on our site, and you can come in here and look at this like this, and as soon as you start typing, everybody on Artstarzz.com is going to see what you're typing. And like I said, it's anywhere from 50 to 100 people a day, and that's why sometimes you'll see somebody type, and then the next thing you know, somebody is talking to them, because there's people watching all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's somebody watching. So you're never alone. Get in there and start a conversation, or not. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Just watch the movie. But give them a chance. Click turn them on and see what they're doing, and maybe you'll be interested, maybe not. But we hope you would be interested. So that was Pot TV. Okay, let's go over to Live with Paul Begley, 54. This is a Christian channel. And as you can see, I posted good morning, and they're telling me good morning. They didn't ban me. They didn't say, hey, stop dropping your links in here, you whatever. They seem to be nice people, and I'm going to keep their channel on our site. A lot of people don't agree with people who believe in God, but then again, a lot of people don't believe in people who smoke pot. So there's a lot of people who don't believe in cussing. A lot of people don't believe in, sex and this and that. They don't believe in it. But that isn't what our channel... Now, when it comes to the sex, I do limit that, because that can get really out of hand. And the next thing you know, you end up with a porno channel. So when it comes to sex, I don't let that get on the site, because like I said, that is something that gets out of control. And there's a certain amount of control that I have to maintain, because I don't want to see a bunch of naked pictures and things like that, things going on in these channels on my site. So that's why I limit that sort of thing. And the channels that are on there now don't do that. So this is a Christian channel. So like I said, you may not agree with what they're doing, but give them a chance. You may. They're not. It's just like the pot channel there. They may not always talk about God. Even though that's their base, is God. You see them on the channel, saying good morning, praise God, praise Jesus, God bless you, amen. Yeah, they do all of that. But if you're afraid of that, it's kind of like people who are afraid of gay people. They're afraid they'll turn gay. So maybe you're afraid that you'll turn to God, and so to make sure that you don't, you stay away from it, which is okay. If that's your fear, stay away from it. But they don't do any harm, and I'll keep them on until they ban me for putting my links in there, or they ban too much, or I hear that they're doing something like grabbing your IP address in cyber terrorism and that sort of thing. When they start, any channel starts that sort of thing, then pretty much we bounce them off. But right now they seem to be a group of nice people, and I've never heard any of the other channels complain about them, that they're doing this and they're doing that. They were new. I had them next to dissenters, and dissenters did go in there and talk, and some people think that people who believe in God this deeply is crazy, and it's just their opinion. They can have that opinion. So I moved them to this area here, because we were doing some live stuff with Syria, and Syria is one of our older channels, and it's kind of like a pecking order. The older channels will be on the top. As soon as the site opens, the older channels will be right there, and then the newer channels as you start to drop down. And we have 9 of them, because that's all that a page will open without causing the viewers too much trouble, and hopefully no trouble at all. They'll open fast, or they'll load without freezing someone's computer. So we keep it down to about 9, roughly 9 channels. And then of course we've got some other small things, and all that stuff takes up RAM. So we're going to see what's going on in the Christian channel. So if you're offended by God, close your eyes, close your ears, turn down the sound, change the page. But here we go.
Find out everything you need to know about your concrete building and repair project before you get started with quick, step-by-step how-to project video guide. gallery. Each 2 to 5 minute video covers product selection, mixing and application instructions, and useful tips to help you achieve a successful project every time. Regardless of your skill level, master fast and easy outdoor projects with Quikrete. Quikrete, it's what America is made of.
Thy will be done. Heavenly Father, I can't live without you, Lord. I can't live without you. By my side.
And like I said, to each their own, but this is some nice artwork. And there's a button there for the volume. If it's not your kind of music, it's everything. You don't have to use everything that's on the channel. If you don't like what they're saying, turn the volume off. If you like what they're saying but don't like what you're seeing, freeze the video. But that's some nice artwork there. So that is Pastor Paul Bigley, Bible Prophecy, and that's what they do on this channel. And like I said, as far as I'm concerned, they're not bothering anybody. Well, I encourage you to stop by and visit. You don't have to if you don't want to. But I like this kind of artwork. I'm a Catholic. I'm not trying to push anything on anybody. Catholics normally don't sell their religion. Jewish people normally don't sell their religion. They're just Catholics. You won't see us coming to your front door. Catholics or Jewish religions won't be coming to your front door and trying to get you to come to church. That's not what we do. And as far as I know, and I've been a Catholic all my life, that's not something we've ever done. So I think they call that proselytizing. I think that's what they do. They call that. So this pastor appears to be live. So if you need a sermon in the morning, come and visit Pastor Paul Bigley, whatever. And if you don't need to be saved in the morning, well, then, let those who do have what they need. I mean, like I said, it's all a choice. So that was Pastor Paul Bigley, and they have 15 viewers. And our last channel is a new channel, and it's another pot channel. So let's see what these potheads are doing at 9:10 a.m. on a Wednesday morning. A lot of these are just reruns. They've got them in their queue and they're running. Nobody's chatting. Like I said, be the first one to chat. If you're against pot smoking or getting high or whatever, or if you just need a good concrete commercial.
About your concrete building and repair projects before you get started with Quikrete's step-by-step how-to project video gallery. Each 2 to 5 minute video covers product selection, mixing and application instructions, and useful tips to help you achieve a successful project every time. Regardless of your skill level, master fast and easy outdoor projects with Quikrete. Quikrete, it's what America is made of.
One of the few commercials I like. I love Quikrete.
They get the kick
Probably
over things.
Get kick stuff in, we get overtime. And the lawyers defending the dispensaries and getting them off with no charges. And the prosecutors who get the paperwork and decide that this paperwork isn't worth pursuing.
Yeah.
Ha! Who's the loser in this? The taxpayer. You have to pay for all the prosecution and the cops. And the dispensary owner, who of course spends time in jail, loses everything they own, and then has to pay the lawyer bill. Huh.
Yep.
Pretty good scheme we got going on.
Then they
here.
can't afford like their apartment and just wrecks them.
Their home. Have a good night, guys.
Bye.
Right, see you Friday, and it's gonna. Next week's show will be, of course, back in. Everyone's getting in that school thing, And I get in the school thing out of...
Excitement for me, yeah.
Well, no, to be truthful, the private school across the street from my house fucking has the alarm goes off to get the kids in school, and you're just like, oh, well, don't need the alarm system again. That's right. It's fall.
You just wake up with the school.
I wake up with the school.
That's hilarious.
I take breaks with the school. It's a good system to be on.
Regularity.
You know, the
Which
great...
is institutionalized by the school after living there for so long.
Oh, it's school bell. Time to go pee.
Recess.
Go get some snack.
Go play on.
Yeah, it usually goes off. I mean, I don't, it wakes me, jars me from my sleep enough to get me moving.
Yeah.
But not so much as the drunken woman every weekend, the last couple weekends. Is, when you're a drunk lady, I have to, of course, ask when there's a fight on the street and gets my attention, young lady, would you like me to call a police officer because you're with a guy, right? Like, I didn't know it started any of the yelling.
And this is a pot channel. It's kind of funny because he was talking about the school across the street being his alarm, and we have, when the school starts up, the buses go in front of our house. We've got a pretty busy street here, and the bus goes in front of our house at right around 6 o'clock every morning with the little lights flashing, and I know it's 6 o'clock. But I don't know what that bag is. They've got that bag they're passing around. I guess somehow they put something in it and then they share the bag. It looks kind of like a hassle to me, but it may be a cleaner way. And you better know who you're sharing your bag with, I guess. But yeah, you take a little hit of that bag, and I guess it does whatever it's supposed to do. They look like they seem to be doing okay, and then they pass the bag. Whatever it is, there's a lot of it, and he knows how to do it. He stretches the bag out. That's funny, the things people do, the tools they'll use to get high. That's just the way the get high world is. So let's shrink this down. And that was our last channel. Like that. And that is Vapor. That is Vapor Central. That's our last channel. Let's close that out. And let's take you back here. And let's do this. Let's change the region real quick and get you back to St. Petersburg waterfront. Like that. And there we go. We're back into St. Petersburg waterfront. Take you a quick street view, see if anybody has run anybody over, because like I said, in St. Petersburg, people just cross the street. And, we're all raised to look both ways before you cross, but in Florida, no, you just cross. You can be looking up, talking on the phone, looking in your purse, picking your nose, whatever you do, you can just cross, and it's up to the cars to pay attention to what they're doing and not running you over. But, in that area there, you shouldn't be going very fast anyway, at the most 15, 20 miles an hour. So there's plenty of time to stop and not run somebody over. So we are getting just about out of time. And that was a quick little run around our site. And, like I said, just you don't have to like what you see. There's plenty to see. You don't have to like, but turn the little button on and see what's going on, because it might not be what you think. And don't be fooled by the title or the book's cover. Don't give them a try. And because there's nobody in there chatting, that doesn't mean there isn't anything going on. Be the first to start something. Don't wait for somebody to start something. Just get in there and say hello, or whatever. Don't be afraid of these chatters. No matter what you think, most of them are good people. And they're there doing what you're doing. They're communicating. That's all they're doing. Expressing their opinions. That's all they're doing. They're not trying to set the world on fire. Some of them would like a lot of the problems in the world to be ended, and so they discuss it and discuss it and discuss it. And some people are, they just stay with one subject because that's where their heart's at. That's what they want to fix. So I'm Artstarzz. It is Wednesday, September 10th. It's 9:18 a.m. All is well in St. Petersburg, Florida. And I hope it's the same where you're at. Have a good day.